Okay, keep moving. Basically what we're doing right now is we're going through and focusing the entire stage, but at this facility I happen to have moving lights for my front light, so I can actually go through and send someone on the stage and be able to literally point the lights from the console at the person on the stage. Go ahead and look at it now. As you can see, Joy is there, and I'm just having the lights pointed at her. Go ahead and move to your left, and I can bring on my next light and make sure that it's turning on and focus my front stage wash that way. Yeah. For the talking. Hi, my name is Jeff Atkisson, and I'm going to walk you through some basic design fundamentals that I'm doing for the current production of Oklahoma. Basically, in designing this show, what I'm looking to do is to basically have a warm wash and a cool wash, so that during daytime we can have kind of ambers that look really amber on the skin, and for nighttime we can have blues. And it also allows me to go ahead and mix those together, and we're able to turn around and get a third different color as we mix the two colors together. Okay, as you can see here, I have a front wash that is warm, and my assistant Joy can now bring up the cool wash. Joy, go ahead and bring up the cool wash. And now you can see that we've added blue onto it. So this basically gives me a basic day and a basic night from the stage perspective. When you're designing lights, you pretty much are looking at being able to do a few basic things. You're looking to have front light, which we've already shown you. We're looking to do backlight, which will kind of pop the actor or actress out from the background, and also some basic side light. As you can see here, this is our front of house bar. It sits about 10 feet away from the stage and is about 20 feet in the air, and this is the main front light that's going to light the actors' and actresses' faces. Now you can see an example of backlight. It's all the way upstage, and it's pointing at the back of the actors' and actresses' heads, which is going to allow you to be able to pop those actors and actresses away from the background and away from the set pieces that you see are already on set. As you can see, this is the front of house bar again, and it's pointing directly at the stage and is giving us all the front light that we need for our production. This is an example of side light. The lights are literally coming in from each side of the stage and lighting just the sides of my face. If you see, I'm going to go ahead and show you what happens when we start adding light in and how much more depth it gives for when the actor or the actress is on stage. So if my assistant can add the front light, go ahead, very slowly. Okay, now you see I have a lot of front light hitting me, and I have some side light too, and now she's going to add the back light in. And now you see I have light that's coming over my shoulders, I have light that's coming in and taking care of the sides of my costume or whatever else I may be wearing, and also the front light, which is just giving the basic wash across my face and body. If you just do one, it can give some different perspectives and some different effects on stage. So right now my assistant's going to take out the front light and take out the side light, and you'll see that you can have a nice back silhouette look as well, and that's another thing that we can do for theater. Okay, so we've talked about front light, and we've talked about backlight, and we've talked about side light, but what about the set pieces themselves? A lot of times you'll hear something called a practical or a special, and for me, for this particular lighting design, I decided that I would put some specials on each one of the set pieces So my assistant's going to bring up the house now, and you can see it just lights the house. So if anything happens throughout the production where I just need the house lit, that's all that's on there. Now let's bring up the hay bales, and you can see that's just lit. And there's going to be a third wagon that will be on the right side of the stage, and we've already preset a special for that. We're going to talk about the difference between the different lighting fixtures that you see on this front of house bar. The first thing that I'm going to have my assistant bring up are what's called a par can. These lights are meant to do nothing more than just wash the stage with light. The next thing that we're going to bring up is what is called an ellipsoidal. The ellipsoidal will allow us to shape and mold the light itself. So the specials that we just spoke about on the house, I was able to literally cut the light so that it is only hitting the house and nothing else. The next fixture that I'm going to talk about is a moving light. And I happen to have basically what's called a TW1. A fixture by Martin that is a moving light that allows us to move it around, change its color, and point it anywhere on stage that we could want it to go. There's also a lot of effect lighting, LEDs, and a lot of things that can help us as we're programming and designing shows. So the lighting designer as a career field gives us a lot of tools and a lot of things that we can use. It doesn't necessarily mean that you always have to have moving lights. Sometimes you have conventional fixtures like I've shown you, par cans and ellipsoidals, and another fixture called a Fresnel that we haven't even been able to see. So I hope this gives you an example of how I approach designing a show basically. I mean, when I come in, I'm looking for a warm wash, I'm looking for a cool wash, I'm looking to be able to light up set pieces, and I'm looking to be able to have some sort of a color changing solution for maximum flexibility. I'm going to talk a little bit about the lighting console that I happen to use and that I choose to use, and it's the Martin Maxis. It basically has two touch screens. It also has on-the-fly faders, and it gives me all the information I need, whether I'm doing a rock and roll show, a theatrical production, or just a simple corporate event. So as you can see here, I have my cue list that will change all the different lighting effects for the current show of Oklahoma that we're working on right now. We will completely pre-program the show before we even run the event with people in here. So we're able to label it, go through pre-production with the director, make sure all of our production crew is happy with what they see, and then simply press one button and continue to do the entire show. Every time we hit the button, it's another cue. There's a lot of different kinds of consoles that are out there, and this just happens to be one that deals with moving lights very well. Many people ask why it is that I have a console that's this large, and the truth of the matter is it makes it simple for me to do just about any show or production I could want to do. It's not that a console that is less than this can't do moving lights or effects or strobes or LEDs or anything else. It's just that this particular console makes, and a moving light console in general, makes it very easy to work with the movers that we have in this space. It also works very well with non-moving lights. So it kind of gives me best of both worlds. The other thing that I deal with a lot here in this facility is I work with a lot of students and a lot of volunteers. And I need a console, even though it may look intimidating to you, it's actually very, very easy to use once the initial setup has been done. So for me, this has been the right choice for this facility. Thank you very much for joining us on this small tour, and I hope this gives you an idea of what really happens behind the scenes when you go to a show, a concert, or even a theatrical production. Thanks very much.